Hi everybody, welcome to the new adventures of Billie Jean. I am Billie Jean, and before you ask, no, I'm not named after the Michael Jackson song. I'm quite a bit older than that, so we'll just leave it at that. So thank you for joining me. Today we're going to be actually playing some Fallout 76, the beta. Actually, beta just came out for PC yesterday, and actually I played that day. So this is my footage going over that for my playtime. We had 4 hours playtime that day, and basically I took advantage of all of it. So I have 4 hours worth of footage, but don't worry, I'm not going to make you suffer through all that. Edited it down, but definitely gonna take a look at the footage and see what see what it is, see how you like the game. So definitely come along. Let's go in, shall we? Here we go.
War never changes. In 1776, this great nation accepted that armed conflict was the only way to preserve our rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. If our founding fathers could only see us now. From Antietam to Amiens, Okinawa to Anchorage, we have fought. And now, the Red Menace is at our doorstep. Democracy itself is under threat of annihilation. That is why today, July 4th, 2076, 300 years after our great nation began, we gather together to honor the completion of Vault 76. This sprawling underground shelter may have been engineered by Vault Tech, but it was built by you, the good people of America, so that if the bombs do come, if the end does come, our way of life will endure. But not everyone will be saved. Those chosen to enter this vault must be our best and our brightest. For when the fighting is stopped and the fallout has settled, you must rebuild. Not just walls, not just buildings, but hearts and minds, and ultimately, America itself. So as we stand here today, we pray that the world will know peace. But if that is not our destiny, if war must come, we stand together knowing that here in Vault 76, our future begins.
Welcome back. So, what'd you think? I have to say, I liked it. It actually seemed pretty cool. Good enough intro, good enough to get you started. It is a online game after all, so definitely don't want people going ahead and sticking around too long in the intro, but it's a good intro, so definitely worth a watch. The only thing that irked me a little bit was how he uses the line war never changes, just because that line to me is kind of definitely Fallout 4. It's all about Fallout 4, so from using it again in Fallout 76's intro, it just seems like they're kind of forcing that one now. But who knows? Maybe it's in other Fallouts. I don't know. I haven't played too far into Fallout 3, Fallout 2 and 1. I haven't even touched those at all. So who knows? Maybe that is a thing in Fallout universe. War never changes. Who knows? But anyways, so here we are, character creator. So I'm making my character. I just want to keep it basic. I just wanted to kind of move on kind of quickly. Wasn't trying to waste too much time here. So didn't do anything too crazy, but just wanted to look at the tools real quick and see what's what. Give you a fair amount of tools to work with. So it seems like it actually is quite robust. Honestly, if you're familiar with the Fallout 4 character creator, it's basically that. Plus, you get to do IDs now. So, you know, it's that. So it's nothing too crazy. But, you know, again, for an online game, it's good. So one thing I forgot to mention. So right when I finished the intro, the first thing that I noticed right away was that the microphones are wide open by default. In other words, if you have a headset that has a microphone on it, or if, like me, you have a microphone on your desk, if it's connected to the computer when you start playing this game, it will be wide open. People will be able to hear what you're saying. I was actually setting up my character, and then I was saying a few things here and there, and I think I ended up saying something about the I said something about the actual character. Like the first preset wasn't like preset 1, it was like preset 3 or something. That was kind of weird that it went to preset 3 right away. And I said something about that, and the guy heard it, said it out loud. The guy heard it, and you know, he kind of chuckled or something like that. And it was like, oh, okay, so this is an open mic, and sure enough, you know, a few conversations. So, but you can't right away turn off the mic. I mean, the first thing you do is you make your character. So I had to actually finish making my character and then turn off the mic at that point. So, yeah, didn't care for that. That probably should be closed. Let you opt in instead of opting out. It would be a better option. So who knows? We'll see if they change that or not. And as you'll notice, yes, the games within the game are back. The same video games, not the same exact games, but video games similar to the retro games that they had in Fallout 4 that you played in Pip-Boy or on a terminal. Those are back, those holotapes, so you could definitely feel free to indulge in those. You get the first one actually in your room on your terminal before you even leave the vault. So this is actually the game. I forget the name of the real game that this was, but I do remember playing this game before in real life. So I'm actually way better at this game than I actually played in this one. I really wasn't even caring or paying any attention. I was just trying to get used to playing it on I think I played it on a Nintendo controller, which is totally different than playing with a keyboard and a mouse. So it did kind of suck at this, but yeah, whatever, right? Being that this is a beta, I didn't want to take too much time kind of just searching around for things. I mean, I did want to do that a little bit, but I didn't want to, like at the very beginning, like in the vault, because I know that the vault is basically the vault, but I also do know that once you leave the vault, you cannot go back into the vault. It's like over at that point. You're sealed out of the vault. It's one of the things that they say. If you kind of look around some of the terminals, you'll find out that once the vault is sealed, the vault is sealed. So you have to do anything there, you got to get it. So like make sure you pick up your perk cards, your water, your supplies that they give you. But they kind of lead you to those things. There's a robot next to each one, so you know where to go. Mr. Handy, should I say, next to each one. So you kind of, those things are a little bit more obvious. Just make sure you grab the stuff. But then there's, a few other places that you might want to stop. Want to check out the Overseer's office, I think the security office, to check out. The Overseer office is basically just give you a quest that, honestly, there's a Mr. Handy outside that gives you the same exact quest, but it gives you the holotape that you can use to listen to the recording for that. In this game, I mean, unlike Fallout 4, there aren't any NPCs per se. I mean, there are, but there aren't. So obviously the main mission that you get is for the Overseer and her mission, but there's nothing that actually states there's no, you don't, as far as I know, you don't see the Overseer. So I honestly doubt. I think it would just end up being a endless string of, I was here, hey, here's my recording that I left since I was here, so follow me. So there's that. but there's no actual, you know, I don't think you actually see the overseer. And a lot of other quests are like that too, where you see corpses of people, but you won't see the actual person, or the actual person be dead, and you're like, okay, well, there's no way that. But you'll get a holotape recording or notes, and you know, you follow the quest that way. So, yeah, so far that's kind of it. So yeah, so you can get that recording for the overseer's, start the overseer's quest in the overseer's office at her terminal. I think it's open. I don't think it's any real security there. I don't think there's any other little odds and ends. I was checking my room pretty thoroughly, but I didn't find anything. You can't go into other people's rooms. You can kind of see there. You could try. You just get a, you know, it can't access that sound. But yeah, and honestly, after that, that's kind of all there is really to do there. So after you leave, so after that, you leave the vault, and then you're on your way. This looks very nice. The videos do not do it justice. So, first thing you notice when you step out the vault is how beautiful the scenery is. Oh my gosh, it is gorgeous. And honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you, my video is not gonna do it justice. The other YouTubers' videos that I've seen did not do it justice. It just, you know, they just looked okay. You know what I mean? But seeing it firsthand on your screen, it's freaking gorgeous. You will not be disappointed with that first reveal. And that's another awesome thing that I love. When you first step out of the vault, and that first reveal is just awesome. So this is another awesome reveal. So definitely take a moment to take that in. So prior to playing this, I did watch the Xbox beta. There was the Xbox 360 had a week head start on the beta, which honestly only equated to 8 hours of playtime. But there are, you know, I've watched a few people that did play the full 8 hours. Different YouTubers that did actually get that full playthrough time and actually did take advantage of that. So there's some people that have been out there. There's some information that does exist, you know, prior to me running through this. So I've seen the footage. So one of the things you want to do right when you get off the vault is, one, you want to talk to that Mr. Handy that I mentioned to get the quest. To the right of the vault door is a responder corpse. That responder corpse, any video that I've seen, and my experience obviously myself, was that that one actually has a pipe pistol, some 38 rounds to go with it. So definitely a good way to get your first gun there is just head right. It's on the same path. It's on the same stone path. So just go right, get a gun. Easy pick up to get you started. So yeah. And when you come out, make sure you look around for weapons. There's a few little basic ones around. Obviously you saw me grab the pistol off of the one corpse. If you go to the right a little bit further, I think you go down, there's a responder that has a pipe wrench and a combat knife. Again, good weapons. I ended up picking those two up. If you go a different way, I think it's straight ahead. I missed that one though. I've seen it on other videos though. There's a corpse with a machete. I actually ended up making a machete later on, but could pick one up right there, right outside the vault. If you go also to the right, there's also a truck that has a few grenades in it, so pick that up as well. So you get all kinds of types of damage, depending on what you're into. I'll be honest with you, I went with melee for the first good portion of it, just because it doesn't require ammo. So, and from everything I've seen, ammo is super scarce. So it does seem to pick up as you go, but you definitely want to conserve ammo at first, because you won't have much. But you different from Fallout 4, but same as Fallout 3. Need to watch the condition of your weapon as you are using the weapon. It does receive damage, so do need to repair it at workbenches from time to time. But trust me, there's plenty of scrap. That's the other thing, to make sure you pick up scrap. But there's plenty of scrap, so as long as you're picking up scrap as you go and scrapping your items, you'll be fine in that department. But just make sure you keep an eye on it, because the worst is to have your weapon all of a sudden just break on you mid-fight. That would be just horrible. Not something I've actually experienced myself yet so far, so I actually don't remember having it update much, but I did keep an eye on it a little bit. But honestly, I think I only did it like once or twice in the 4 hours that we're playing, so it's not like you have to do it that often, but just make sure you keep an eye on it. So obviously, I heard this music, and you guys can hear it too. As I'm coming down from the vault, I'm like, what the heck is that, right? So I follow it, and I find this little shack. And in the shack, there is a banjo and a mouth harp, whatever that is. It's just sitting there. So apparently, if you play instruments in this game, you do get a bonus. So condition bonus. So actually, that gets kind of a buff. So that's awesome. So that's something definitely. Hey, why not? You know, fresh out the gate, might as well get a little bit of buff. So make sure you check that out too. So it gives you the well-tuned buff, which gives you a AP regen boost of 25 for an hour, which that's not bad at all. Also, you'll notice in this one, since I am fresh out the vault, I am well-fed and well-hydrated. So if you are well-fed and well-hydrated, you do get buffs for that as well. Like I said, again, the opposite is if you are dehydrated, or if you are hungry, then you actually start getting a debuff. But the buff that you receive for well-fed is your maximum HP is plus 25, and your disease resistance is plus 25%. So that's pretty awesome. Plus, well-hydrated, you do get a AP regen of plus 25 and a disease resistance of plus 25% as well. So keeping yourself well-fed and well-hydrated definitely ups the disease resistance, because yeah, you can get diseases. At a few points during this playthrough, I ended up with parasites a few times, so you know. But there's medicine you can take to get rid of it. But yeah, if you don't have to either buy or make medicine with your materials, even better. So definitely something to keep an eye on as you play. Okay, so off we go. Yeah, I'm from a freaking vault, man. It's the furthest distance I've had to go in my whole entire life. Just making a joke about the lack of stamina of the playable character in this game, and which, you know, hey, like I said, clip there, I said, yeah, from a vault, so it's the furthest they've ever had to travel in their whole entire life, which, yeah, it's true. Those vaults aren't that big, so yeah, they got out of breath pretty easily. So, but no, it is noticeable, because most Fallout games you start out with actually some kind of stats that you could place somewhere where you could easily buff yourself. If you did not like, you know, to want to make sure you had stamina, you could definitely buff that stat and you'd be good to go. However, in this game, all your special values when you start off at level 1 are all 1. So the only one that I added was strength. You saw me add that right before I left. So that's kind of all that they had. So there's, with a level 1, for anything that has to do with, I think it's endurance that controls stamina, but yeah, for level 1 for endurance, that's all you have. Yeah, you're not going to be the most speediest thing out there. So there are a lot of workbenches out there, I've noticed that. So it's pretty easy to find one, except when you're looking for one, that it seems to be hard to find one. But just in this shack that I found, which is just a little bit outside the vault, there's a cooking workbench. There is a chemistry station, as well as looks like a weapon workbench as well. So they're all over the place. You just got to find them. Most locations, if they're a major enough location to be on the map, have some kind of a crafting bench. So far, I found. Who knows? Maybe that changed once you get further out. But at least in the close to the vault, almost everything's got a workbench. So it's pretty easy to scrap your stuff and break everything down in components, so they're lighter weight to carry than actually if you're carrying it as an actual item. So make sure you do that as well. A lot of people videos that I watched, they didn't actually pick up any of the flowers or herbs that were on the side of anywhere that they found them, middle of the forest, side of the road, whatever. A lot of people didn't pick those up. I don't know, I felt that I wanted to grab those just in case, and I'm glad I did, because in the end I ended up using those for I think there were some teas that you can make, because in this game you do have to drink and you do have to eat pretty regularly. So yeah, I was able to make some teas out of them to drink, plus there were some of the ingredients and some of the different meals that you made too, so they were good for cooking. So definitely you need food in this game. So I mean, you may not need like tons of it, but you definitely do need some food every so often. Otherwise you will actually get debuffs, because if you don't have enough food or haven't eaten or drinking in a reasonable amount of time. So you definitely need to make sure you eat or drink. So flowers is definitely a good thing to pick up. I don't think they weigh that much, so very minimal weight. So definitely a good idea to grab those when you can. If you notice on the map, there's all the white dots, and if you kind of look at the vault itself, kind of where that's located on the map, and you kind of notice that the white lines tend to be all going in the same direction. Well, if you notice, there's also a yellow diamond at that spot on the map. That's actually the quest marker for the first step in the Overseer's quest, which is the main quest line of the game. So you naturally get drawn that way. Plus there's some other benefits and things that you pick up, and it's basically like a tutorial of the game, so it kind of learns you how to do some of the things that are, some of the different functions of the game, some of the different like camps and how to make water, and things like that. Good things to know, but that quest will lead you into learning other things. So however, if you notice, I'm kind of in line with that, but I'm not totally in line with that. And I just placed a marker on my map that's the opposite direction of that. So I did is I've seen some videos, so I know kind of if I head that way, I kind of know where I'll end up. I know there was some of the guys that, they definitely recommend you doing that, and I do plan on going that direction. I do plan on going down that way. However, I wanted to first kind of just see a few things. Like, what will happen if I go that way? I mean, the map is a lot bigger than what it seems. I mean, in that time period, it looks like I've gone like almost nowhere on the map, but I feel like we've done quite a bit of, looking around, at least the immediate area. Found another shack, so I found the first location. But I wanted to kind of keep going that way down the hill, and then kind of follow the road back around to the camp, because the road leads right to the camp. The camp's at the end of the road, the Overseer's camp, and that's where you're supposed to meet her for the next leg of the quest. However, I wanted to do some exploring, kind of see some stuff, because I've seen what happens if you go straight that way. Everybody did it. That of the videos that I saw, I mean, there were people that didn't, but I didn't watch those videos. I just watched the ones that just went that way. So did some minimal exploring before I go back around, because I wanted to find some armor, wanted to find some weapons, before having to craft, before it made me craft some, because it has you craft one thing of armor, one thing, one weapon. Gives you some supplies and other stuff too. So, before I did that, I wanted to strike on my own, see what I could do, see what I could see, find what I could find. So I actually headed that direction. So, made it to the road. At this point, that was as far as I wanted to go west. I could have gone over to that one town with the Mothman Museum, but I didn't want to get into that yet. I figured I'd get into that later, after I visited the camp. So I wanted to start heading back towards the camp, but I didn't really want to go straight to the camp. So I wanted to actually take the road all the way around. Because it's the same road, that if I followed the road to the end of the road, there's the camp. So I was on the road, it just was at a different part of the road than everybody else. So I decided to start following the road, and things were going good. Nothing too crazy. I ran into a few little minor enemies kind of getting to the road, some ghouls and some ticks and whatnot. So little things that I could stab and whatever, as time or two, and they were out of my way, no big deal. So first challenge came with the Protectron. Because it took more than a few stabs to take that thing down, and the whole while it's actually hitting you. Now, the thing that I noticed right away in that fight was that VATS is totally different. I knew it was totally different going into this point, up to this point, but to actually experience it and actually feel how different it was, I had none of my comforts that I usually have, my fallbacks that I usually have when I'm in fights in Fallout 4 and Fallout 3. Fallout 4, anytime you went to VATS, it slowed time tremendously to the point where you could think about what you're going to do, as long as they weren't right up in your face. You could think about what you're going to do, how you're going to play it out, target your different body parts, and then let it rip. Fallout 3, that gave you tons of time. I mean, that was just, it paused time when you went into VATS, so you had all the time in the world. You could also go into, and besides going to VATS, you could also go into menu, grab some stim packs or whatnot. I mean, there were quicker options always, but to get to it, shortcuts, but for the most part, you could also just go into the menu, into your Pip-Boy, look around, find what you want to find, see what kind of aid you want, switch your guns, those kind of things. Take your time mid-fight. That paused in Fallout 4 and in Fallout 3, so there was no time penalty for those. But this game, those are all out the window. So it is a live game. There are various, it's everybody's online at the same time. So there's no stopping time. Time does not stop for anybody. So that is a real-time thing. You still target, it still helps you target, but it helps you target in real time. So if you're not ready for that or not used to that, and at this point there was no tutorial, still isn't. I haven't found, even after playing the whole 4 hours, didn't find any kind of tutorial that tells you how to set up your quick links or your whatever. I don't even know if they have an official name, honestly, because there's nothing that tells you anything about them. So to set up your shortcuts at all, or even how to get to your shortcuts, which I found is the wheel on your mouse. By scrolling that, moving that up and down, then I was able to pull up that wheel, and then I could select from it. So I didn't even know how to set that up, didn't know how to add items to it, remove items from it, get to it, because that's your way of quickly going to a stim pack, quickly changing a weapon, quickly eating some food, anything you could put there that you would normally in Fallout 4, Fallout 3, that you would go to your menu to do. You want to make sure you put it there. You've got, it takes up all the keys going across your top of your keyboard, so the number keys plus the minus and plus key. I think the tilde's in there too, but I could be wrong. But yeah, so it's all those keys. So those keys, you've got plenty of keys. If you did want to use just the keys as shortcuts too, you can do that as well. But yeah, if that's not your playstyle coming into this, you're gonna have a rude awakening. You're gonna have to adapt to that fast, and yeah, I had to. So the protect round fight was a little rough, but the fight that took place probably a little bit up the road from there when I ran into some ghouls, yeah, I barely escaped out of my life because I was basically fumbling through it. I think I might have set it up by the it just, yeah, it was just rough. So you'll just have to see. You'll see. So as you see, barely made it out of that one alive. So I did actually figure out where the wheel was. That did kind of keep me alive there. Other than, if it wasn't for that, that would have not gone well. I had a sliver of health left at one point, and I just so happened to get the stim pack going right before I went to that wood pile, and because I think the wood pile triggers those mole rides, and yeah, that would have been lights out right there. So that's okay, but that's all right. So I think this is a good place to break at. So I'm going to obviously have more to show of this, of the beta, the first day. Tomorrow actually we'll be recording the beta the second day, so I will be editing the first day and then playing the second day, and then I'll actually get that edited and up as well. So it's a good place to break, kind of get out of the vaults, get up and going, before we go into the first major location that I found, which wasn't really major, but it was definitely left an impression on me, so I'll just keep it that way. I won't get into it too much, but so definitely thank you very much for watching, and definitely hope you enjoyed it. Please, it's a brand new channel, so please leave your feedback. Let me know if there's anything I can improve, update, whatever. We'll definitely play it by ear. I'm an easygoing, laid back guy, so I'm not going to take it all harshly or anything like that. So please, definitely, criticism is definitely welcome. If you like it, hey, leave a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to see more of my adventures. So definitely do appreciate you joining me for this little adventure here. This has been the New Adventures of Billy Jean, and I have been Billy Jean. So thank you very much for watching, and take care.